Hello everyone, I'm back again, Chef Papa G. And today I'm going to show you how to do some back home, and I mean back home, ham and bean soup. Bacon, ham, and bean soup. Now, I'm just going to right now show you the ingredients that I will be using. I feel so good this morning. Now, what we're going to do is back in the day, this is how the old folks did it. I'm old, but not that old. But back in the day, back in the day we had and we still have today the Great Northern beans. As you can see, we got 2 bags of dry Great Northern beans. We have shredded carrots. We have the 1 bell pepper. The red bell pepper, it can be orange, it don't matter. 1 green pepper. Believe it or not, these are 2 different tastes. The bell pepper here is the red pepper or the orange pepper. They're much sweeter than the green pepper. But we'll have 1 of them. Also, we got 1, 2, 3 stalks of your celery. About 3 or 4 stalks of your green onions. We got your bacon. And here's your ham. Here is smoked sparrow ham. It's just the regular pieces. Pieces that have been chopped up they wasn't going to use, and they're going to put it in a bag and they try to sell it to you. Well, they don't try to sell it to you. They sell it to you. But as you can see, I'm going to chop all of this up. Now, but first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get all of my bell peppers and my my celery and green peppers. I'm going to chop that up in my Black & Decker food processor. And I'm going to get all that stuff chopped up, get it ready so I won't waste your time. I'm going to show you how I'm going to soak my Great Northern beans. Used to be back in the day, they soak them overnight, put them in a pot, put water on them, soak them overnight, rinse the water off the next morning, put fresh water in, and then start cooking them. But we're going to do it a little quick way here. We're going to put them in the water, and we're going to let them come to a boil, then we're going to pull that dirty water off, and then we're going to put fresh water in the pot. I'm giving you a whole recipe right now. And then we're going to put it back on the stove and let it start cooking. All right? I will be right back to show you just what I'm talking about. I'll show you my mise en place. Mise en place is doing everything ahead of time, so you won't have to worry about it, so I won't have to worry your patience. Be right back. All right, friends, I'm doing my chop-ups right now. Chopping up the celery, because I'm going to put all of this in the food processor. Got a bowl here, putting my celery in. You can see how I'm chopping this up. I'm just going to show you a little bit of me, how I do my green peppers and my red peppers. Just how I chop them up, rough cut. They call this a rough cut because I'm going to put them in the food processor to chop them up just a little bit smaller than what they are. And here we go. But like you get all of this stuff done ahead of time. I know I said earlier I was going to get it all done and then show you, but I want to show you how to do a little few. I do my green peppers and bell peppers, how I rough cut. I slice them, then I slice them in strips, and then that's my rough cut, just so I can put it in the food. They fit in the food processor pretty good. And I mentioned I have most of this stuff is going to be added in the middle of your cooking process, your boiling of your beans. You just add this in. Then you're going to add your bacon, because I don't know if I mentioned, but you're going to have bacon and ham and bacon. Let me see. Ham and bacon. Going to add that too. It's going to be old-fashioned. Back in the day. It's how grandma, mom used to do it. They didn't go get a can of beans and put it on the stove. No. They did it old-fashioned. Well, they couldn't. They didn't have it. They didn't have it in the store. Some places where they where some of us grew up, they didn't have beans in the can. You know, Mom had to go out in the field and pick the beans and dry them out, and you know, that's just how it was. So, just gonna show you a little bit how I chopped it up, and then be back with my food processor here. These are with your carrots. You don't have to chop these up. These are already chopped. Now you can, if you don't want them long like that, you can chop a little bit, you know, rough cut. But right now, this don't have to go into the food processor. And here's my bacon. It's about a cup of bacon here. And whatever, it don't matter how much bacon you can add. And you know, I showed you my ham, my chopped ham. I'm gonna chop that up a little bit finer than what it is now. And after that, I'll show you the process of the food processor from Black & Decker. All right, friends, I want to give you a little tutorial of how I excuse my way I'm pronouncing this, on how I chop up my my vegetables for my ham, bacon, and bean soup. Here's my Black & Decker. That's my Black & Decker food chopper. I didn't want to use the big one. I just used a little small one here. And I'm just going to show you a little tutorial of what I do. I have my onions, I have my green onions, I have my bell peppers, and I have my celery. And what I'm going to do, put it right inside here. And I'm going to chop a little bit just to show you how I do it. Oh, all you have to do is just tap. Once you get it on, top on, tap. That should be sufficient. You want to be able to see your ingredients in your ham and bean soup. But this is all you do. You put this flap on, just like this, first. Make sure it clocks. Then you put the blade in. Then you add your vegetables. Now you add them all together inside here. I don't do one at a time. Just all of the celery and all the what at once. I just, it don't have to be all really fine, just so that where people will know that you got these different types of vegetables in. Like that. And see, you're almost finished. It don't take long. You're almost finished chopping this stuff up. And that's going to be, we're going to put all of this. Now, when you're cooking your ham and soup beans, your soup beans, you're going to let them cook halfway through the finishing process. Then you're going to add your vegetables. Your vegetables and also your meats, your ham and bacon. You don't have to put bacon in there. You can just have ham. You don't have neither one. You know, the ones that don't like the meat, they call them vegetarians or whatever. Leave that meat out of there. I'm just showing you. And also, you see all this cut up here. You don't have to put all this cut up that I'm just giving you a basics of what I do. Now, you can see we're getting it together with the Black & Decker food processor. Mini Black & Decker food processor. And aside, now we got that done. We got that out the way. We just set that aside. Then we'll get rid of the, well, you know what? Tell you what I'm going to do. We do want our carrots in, and a lot of us don't like these long strips in there, so you can do this here. You can put a few of the carrots in your food processor. And, don't have it, you don't have to do it. Get something where to just chop them up when it'd be something like this. Just chop them a little bit. You say you won't have no long strings in there. Strings of carrots. You can just chop it up a little bit like you do the other vegetables. I don't know. Sometimes I get. It's hard for me to decide what I want to do, but with cooking, it's like an adventure. You're trying different things, Things sometimes it don't work, but hey, this is the way it is. Now that should be enough carrots, but anyway, I'm gonna put them all in there because I might not use all of it, but you know that's up to you. You can use all of it, make it a more vegetable bean soup. All right, now don't want to wear your patience. I got one more thing to show you. Put this aside, but I got one more thing to show you. I already put the beans. Here's the beans right here. There are your beans. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. That's your beans. All right, I put the beans in your pot. I got about an inch. I probably put another inch on here. And we're going to let this boil. We're going to let it boil, come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, give it 2 more minutes. Then we're going to take this off the heat. And we're going to let it set for an hour. That's your fast way of doing your Great Northern beans without waiting until, doing them overnight. Now, if you think about it, you want to do them overnight, all you have to do is just put them in the pot, put them in the pan, put the cold water on it about 2 inches above, put a top on them, let them set overnight. It don't matter what. Don't cook them or nothing. When you wake up, and you wake up, you drain this juice off that's been soaking in, and then you add fresh juice about 2 inches, and then you begin to cook. Be right back. All right, friends, you can see right here our first boil. This is our first boil. See how it's starting to boil? So right here, when it starts to, you see the beans start moving, that means it's starting to boil. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start right now. When I see it starting to boil, I'm gonna start my 2 minutes. And we're gonna let these things boil for like 2 minutes. Now we're gonna give it 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes. We're gonna let this boil for 2 minutes. And after 2 minutes, we're gonna set it aside. We're gonna take it off the heat, set it aside. And we're gonna let it sit for an hour. This is how you do it. When you don't want to do it overnight, let them set in the cold water overnight. This is how you do it. See how it's boiling there? So it's got about another minute and 15 seconds. But remember, after it starts boiling, give it 2 more minutes of boil. Then you take it off the stove, put a top on it, and that's going to be it. Yeah, look at it. It's starting to boil now. You see it? It's starting to boil. This is your first boil. Now your second boil, that's going to be the one that's going to cook your beans. Yes, that's going to be the one that cooks your beans until it's time to eat them. And forgive me that you're not looking at my beautiful face, because what I'm doing is trying to, you don't need to see my face. You've seen Chef Papa G before, so I just want to make sure I get this right. I don't want to prolong my video, so I'm just going to keep my head out of it for right now. But this ain't AI. You see how it's boiling? We got we're about ready to take it off the stove, and then we're going to put it up. We'll turn it off. I'll turn it off. And we're going to put our top on. See how it is, how it's boiling? That's what we want for 2 minutes. All right, friends, we've got the 2 hours, the 1 hour is up. Here we go with our beans. This is the first boil. We went through the procedure of letting them set for an hour, like I told you. I'll put my strainer down, And we're going to get rid of this old juice. We'll get rid of this, I call it dirty juice. See how they swell? They swelled up there? Yeah, they'll swell up on you because their heat done got to them and hasn't. What we're going to do, we're going to add the same amount of water. I'll let you see what I'm talking about. This is regular cold water, and this is going to be our second boil, and this is the boil where we're going to cook these things all the way through. But like you see, I put about an inch. I have it about an inch, and I'd have some hot water on the side just in case it goes down. You don't want your beans to burn, and you just add it right to it. If it boils, it's most of your water boils. And I forgot to tell you, we use seasoning salt. It don't matter what kind of seasoning salt you use. But this is one I don't even know what store I got it from. But I'm going to put, usually go with a teaspoon per pound. But I'm just going to tell you, for those 2 pounds of beans, I'm going to put, start off with like a tablespoon. Now, this is not a measuring spoon, but you know, it's close to being a tablespoon. We're going to start from there. Then, also, we got this liquid smoke. Now, this is make it real. I squirt a little bit in there like that. We put that the pepper later. You know you're going to have your pepper in there. I think I'll put a little bit more of this seasoning in there. All right. See what I'm talking about? Now we're going to put it on the stove, and we're going to get this stuff started cooking. I'd put it on medium. Medium's fine, you know. It's going to take about an hour, hour and a half. Halfway through that time, though, you've got to make sure you add your vegetables. And add your meat, your bacon, your ham, or if you don't want to add it, you don't add it. Now, friends, you see how it's cooking up real good. There you go. It's cooking up real good. At the end of the video, toward the end, I got a bonus for you. We're going to let this bend about almost an hour. It's been about almost an hour. It should be done about another 20 minutes. So about an hour and a half will be pretty good as far as your cooking for your ham and soup beans and bacon. But I got a bonus for you. After this, we're going to be doing some cornbread muffins. Yes, indeed, because that's going to go with my beans. stay tuned for the end of the product. Look how it's coming out. Get a little dipper. Well, cup, measuring cup. Here we go. Look at that. It's thickening up. Most of the starch is leaving the potatoes. It's going to be a nice thick bean soup, old-fashioned way. Spoon in and give it a little taste. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. It's starting to thicken up. Pretty soon, we're going to have some ham and soup beans. All right, friends, here we go. We're going to try some of this. Ham and soup beans. Here we go. See what we got here? Here we are. We're going to try something. It's going to be hot. 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 Very good. The beans are nice and tender. Look at that big piece of ham there. Can you see that? Can you see that ham? Very good. So I want you to try this recipe. Try this recipe. Beautiful. All right, folks. Here's your bonus. I got a bonus for you. Cornbread muffins. Yes, indeedy, better than Jiffy. I'm going to show you how to do it. Yes, indeed, you'll save your money. Don't buy them boxes of Jiffy. It's going to cost you about $1. I'm going to show you a cheap way to make your own cornbread. You can make it cornbread, corn muffins, whatever, but Chef Papa G will show you how to save money, and they will have something to go with your ham and soup beans you just seen. So stay tuned. All right, this is what we're going to be doing. This is our cornbread muffin mix. All right, I'm going to go through this right real quick with the recipe, but you'll be able to find that in the description. But here we go. We got 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, 4 tablespoons of your baking powder, 1 little small quiver of salt, about half a teaspoon of salt. If you use salt, you don't have to use salt. Then we got our oil. This is our half a cup of oil, vegetable oil, doesn't matter. And we got 1 egg. And we got 1 cup of milk. It can be 2% milk, it can be 1% milk, it can be vitamin D, full force of milk, it doesn't matter. But we're going to go ahead and start mixing this up. I'm going to make this video quick. Well, not video. I'm going to make this process real quick. You see how I'm mixing it up? Like this. There you go. Very simple. Make sure you check that recipe out. It's like a box of Jiffy Mix, you know? It's about a box, maybe a little bit more than Jiffy Mix, you know. That little box don't do nothing. But this is going to give you 12 muffins, 12 cornbread muffins. Now we're going to add our milk. We're going to add our egg. You see? And we're going to add our... Of course, I don't know if I told you our sugar. We'll do about a half a cup of sugar. Now I got to make sure I get that in my recipe in the description. Get sugar. Now some people don't like the sugar in there, so don't put the sugar in there. But I like the sugar. Jiffy likes the sugar, so put some sugar in there. Now what I'm gonna do? Got my egg here. You can mix your egg ahead of time. Beat your egg ahead of time. It's up to you. But I usually just add it, and I use a whisk to whisk this around. And you can see how I'm doing this. This is all together. And this is going to be quick because I don't like long videos. Well, I mean, I like long videos, but you know, I think talk too much. So this is what we're going to do. See, and I got to get your attention first 30 seconds, you know. If I don't get that then, that's what got how I'm lost. Now, you see how this is? There you go. Now we're gonna get our muffin pans together, a muffin pan together. Put our little paper cups in, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do this thing here. We're gonna put it in the oven. You put it in the oven. They say 400. I'll put it in about 375, but it's up to you. All right, here we got our muffin tins here, and I'm gonna take now what I do, I use a ice cream scoop, small ice cream scoop to do it, and I just drop it just like this. Stuff is starting to rise. That baking soda, see, baking powder, see, it helps it to rise. So you got to make sure you have enough of that. Now I'm gonna get about 12. Muffins out of this muffin pan is that's 12 cups, and see how I'm dropping them in. This is not a large ice cream scoop. Now you might even get more than 12, and if you do, not a problem. You're getting your money's worth. You know, you're taking out a cup of cornmeal out of a 5-pound bag of cornmeal and a cup out of a 5-pound bag of flour, all-purpose flour. You're going to save you money. Look how many times you can do this recipe. You go spend and the flour only costs about $1. I mean, it only costs about $2.19. But you go buy them boxes of Jiffy Mix, it's going to cost you each time about $1.07. Yes, it's going to cost you about $1.07. And you think about it. You're not going to get all the 12 out of there. You're not going to get 12 muffins out of that little box. So I'm trying to save you money. That's what this channel is all about. Save you money. I'm giving you all kinds of recipes to save you money. I may not mention that in all my videos, but this is what it's all about. Chef Papa G trying to save you money. Stay at home sometimes and fix your own meals. So I'm going to give you meals. I mean, it's going to take about over a couple of years for me to give you all my recipes. But I'm going to be giving them to you. Now, I'm going to put this in the oven on 375 to 400. I think about 375. And then we're going to come right back and see what results we have. Here we are, friends. Here are the muffins. Now, don't they look nice and golden? Look at that. Look at this. Let me lift this pan up. This pan is kind of hot, but I'm going to lift it up so you can see. Look at that. That's my muffins there. Cornbread muffins. Your recipe all on, and people, your family say, "Oh my God, you made them homemade, not Jiffy Mix." I'm telling you the truth. That's them right there. I'm going to plate them up, put them beside some ham and soup beans, and we're going to have ourselves a party. Here we are, folks. Here we are. Ham and soup beans and bacon and vegetables in it and everything in it. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is it could be a good dinner. It could be a good lunch. You can have, your children that love with the ham and bacon in there. The children that love them beans. You know what I'm saying? This is what we was doing back in the day. We had beans almost every day. Great Northern beans, Navy beans, pinto beans. But look at this. This is it. This is it. Try to get a closer look at it. Look at that. Yes. Yes. Beautiful shot. Yes, indeed. Look at that. So stay tuned for my next video because we're gonna have something else that you can do when to save you some money instead of going out and eating. Remember, you can have this for lunch, dinner. Some people like it for breakfast. You can serve it with rice, whatever, but this will save you some money. Do it at home. That's what I'm trying to stress. Do it at home. And one more thing, don't forget to like, subscribe, or share. See ya.